Welcome to Aussie Afterlife podcast. This episode, well, all the other episodes and anything I've possibly said ever contains explicit language, so not for younger listeners unless you're an actual cool parent, or for those without a sense of humour. So remember to grab your headphones for the paranormal investigation episodes. And you also get to listen to my voice super close to your ear. So that could be good or bad or both. I don't really know, but anyway. But what I want you to do is grab a drink, relax, and enjoy. And come into my version of the afterlife. Could be heaven, hell, purgatory. It's probably hell, but what of it? Enjoy. Welcome back to Aussie Afterlife. This is episode 68. And in this episode, I'm going to retell another one of my favorite urban legends. So this is kind of revisiting my first one, The Hook, but it's definitely got a different outcome, different vibe, two lovers still at Lover's Lane, but the outcome and what occurs is very, very, very different. So I hope you guys are loving this series. As I say, please get in touch or, throw some cool ideas out to me about the urban legends. I'm just going to keep going with this. I think it's really cool and I'm having heaps of fun. I'm not super getting into all the paranormal scene because we all know it's cooked at the minute, but let's just talk about some really cool stories that have fascinated us and we've loved for years and years and years. Probably just talking about myself, but anyway. But yeah, I'm clearly releasing a lot more of these episodes more frequently, so I won't be sitting here doing 10, 15 minute boring fucking stupid intro, right? But I had a thought. Does anybody sit back and reflect after the day and go, God, I learn a lot. Oh geez, yeah, let's not do that again. Or I was not good at that. Or oh yeah, no, kind of thing. I do all the time, every goddamn day. The other day, for example, I've got a beautiful new puppy who I absolutely love, my Maltipoo or a Moodle. So what am I trying to say? A Maltese cross a toy poodle. So anyway, he's really furry and I'm like, nah, I don't need to get him professionally groomed. I can do this. Geez, I'm amazing with dyeing hair and cutting my own hair. I'm not, but yeah, that was a hardcore joke, but I'm amazing at doing all that sort of stuff. I'm really symmetrical with everything. Let's just, try and groom my own dog. So I did. And this cute little razor that I got was very, 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 very good. And he now has a skullet. So it's like he's been shaved from here and there's just poofed everywhere. Because it didn't start off like that. When you cut a bit and you're like, oh shit, I've got to make that even. And then all of a sudden, skull it. You know what it is? Google it. You'll or a man with a very bad receding hairline. So that's one thing I learned the other day that I couldn't do is groom my new dog. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you were still so cute. But I'm like, I don't think I should just continue to do so. And use experiment on him, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna have to look at it for the next 8 weeks and just be I'm not doing that again. And then I try and do it again and it's probably worse or yeah. But anyway, so I found a cheap one at Pet Stock, so he'll be getting his little trim there. Another thing I've recently learned is that my office is not soundproof. It's not. It's I manage a facility. Sometimes you might get an email or, there's some stuff. You're in there by yourself. You think, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, it's soundproof. I can just let out a little fuck or something like that. I'm not bothering anyone. It's not to anyone. It's just to help emotionally regulate, so I don't lose my shit. Or not that I would, but, actually sometimes I'm just I need to go out for a walk. But yeah, so anyway, sometimes you're fuck off or shut the fuck up kind of thing. And it's not aimed at anyone. It's just like if you're in your own home and you're just venting about, shit, I stubbed my toe, that kind of thing. Well, it turns out, so my allied health office is right next door. I can hear everything. The other day I just, I used a choice word and I was like, fuck it, kind of thing. I was like, anyway, my awesome social worker comes to the door and I was just like, we're talking about random stuff and I'm like, oh God, I can't. God, I'm like, my head's spinning. I'm really overstimulated. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I heard you. And I'm like, what? You heard me? And she's like, yeah. I was like, what, through the wall? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, what'd you hear? And she's like, the F word, like fuck. And I'm like, I was like, no. I was like, can you hear me all the time? She's like, no, just when you're screaming or yelling. And I'm like, anyway, I debrief with them all. I was like, no, it's actually quite entertaining. So that's good. It was like, I'm just like, oh my God, these people must be sitting here just like, oh, something's cooking, Sam's losing it kind of thing. But yeah, no. Office is not soundproof. I know that now, and everything I do is, a bit cute. I'm expressive. I'm an expressive gal. It's never aimed at anyone. It's never nice. I'm just expressive. Like, I have a lot to say with a lot of energy to say it and a lot of emotion to say it behind it. So like some people just like calm down. I'm like, I'm just like being normal. People are just like, Sam. And I'm like, you think that's fucking angry? I'm like, wait and see. I'm just an expressive person. And I think, as that lovely Indian man told me, you've got a good heart, you just take it the wrong way. But yeah, no. It was a funny day at work the other day, but yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. Also, no directional skills whatsoever. I think I might have spoken about that before. Actually, with me, if you know me personally, or if you ever do know me personally, if I ever look 100% sure about anything, it's fucking wrong. Just be like, okay. Yeah, I only doubt myself on the things that I am right with. If I'm wrong, I'm just like, nah, this is it, and it's really wrong. But anyway, hope you enjoy this urban legend. This is what I like to call the boyfriend's death. So grab a drink, relax and enjoy. And maybe don't try and give your dog a haircut unless you want him to look like, I don't know, Monty Burns, Skullet, I don't know. Anyway, enjoy. Every legend has more than one ending. Some people swear that the escaped killer left his hook hanging from the car door, as I spoke about in episode 1. Others tell a darker version. A version that's whispered and talked about around campfires. A more scarier version where someone never comes back. And the only warning is the sound of scratching above your head. Just goes to show, in Lover's Lane, there is no good outcomes. You either get fucked or you gotta fuck off. Here is the reimagining of the urban legend, the boyfriend's death, and a different version of the hook. This version is set in Warraglan, Victoria, in October 1997. The annual spring show had finally ended. The music faded behind them as Brett steered the Kingswood away from town. The roads grew darker, quieter, and Liv, well, she rested her feet on the dashboard. I can't believe that this is your idea of romance. Brett laughed. It's either this or we watch your little brother play PlayStation. Yeah, fair point. Suddenly, The radio interrupted with a burst of static, and a serious voice followed.
Please continue searching for an escaped psychiatric patient, Leonard Graves, who fled Blackridge Secure Hospital yesterday afternoon. Graves should be considered dangerous. Residents are urged to avoid isolated roads and report any suspicious activity immediately.
Liv rolled her eyes. Perfect horror movie timing. Brett smiled. Do you want me to turn around? She grinned. No chance. 20 minutes later, they reached Briar Ridge Lookout, an old gravel clearing overlooking endless eucalyptus forests. There wasn't another car in sight, only moonlight and silence. They sat talking for almost an hour about concerts, travel, where life might take them when they finish school. Liv smiled. This is actually really nice. And Brett leaned back. I told you. Then, a metal clang echoed somewhere beyond the trees. Liv looked towards the darkness. What was that? Brett listened. It sounded like... He stopped. I don't know. A few minutes later, the Holden had shifted slightly, as though someone had leaned against the rear bumper. Brett frowned. Could be a kangaroo. Liv wasn't convinced. The car, it rocked again, harder this time. Brett grabbed the torch that he always had from the glove box. Look, I'm just going to go out and check. Liv immediately reached for his wrist. Don't leave me. He smiled. I'll be 30 seconds, all right? Just relax, it's all good. Brett, she stepped out into the darkness. He closed the door to ensure that Liv kept warm. He walked around to the back of the car and his torch beam swept across the gravel. Then Liv noticed that it just disappeared. She was watching. She was waiting. She waited the 30 seconds, the minute, then 2 minutes. Brett? No answer. She flashed the headlights. Nothing. Only empty trees. Then, a slow scratching sound drifted across the roof. Maybe it was a branch, except Liv looked and saw that the nearest tree was several meters away. Again. The sound moved from the rear window towards the windshield, slowly dragging like fingernails across metal. Liv's breathing quickened. She locked every door. Brett! Her voice cracked. There was still silence. Then came another sound, a soft tapping on the driver's side window. She spun around. Nothing. Only her own frightened reflection. But then came another scrape, this time directly overhead. Long, slow, deliberate. Tears welled in her eyes. She jumped across, shoved the key into the ignition. The Holden started immediately. She didn't hesitate. She slammed the accelerator and gravel sprayed behind her as the car tore down the mountain road. She drove straight to the Warrigal police station. Barefoot, shaking uncontrollably. Senior Constable Helen Brooks met her outside. Within minutes, police vehicles were racing back towards Briar Ridge. Liv stayed at the station. She couldn't bear to return. She watched the clock instead. 1 hour, then 2. Finally, Helen walked through the station doors and she looked exhausted. Liv reacted and stopped immediately. "Where's Brett?" Helen hesitated, then quietly replied, "We found him." The official report stated that Brett had been murdered. No suspect was ever identified, but among the officers, another story spread. One never written into evidence. Brett had been found hanging upside down from the branch from an old gum tree, his ankles tied together, his head suspended just above the Holden's roof, close enough that every desperate movement and attempt to reach the car had caused his fingernails to scrape across the metal. The scratching Liv had heard hadn't come from the killer. It had come from Brett, trying to warn her, begging her not to open the door. Leonard Graves was never found. Some believe he died in the bush. Others claimed he was seen hitchhiking along lonely roads across Victoria for years afterward. As for Liv, she refused to drive mountain roads after sunset. And whenever someone joked about hearing strange noises outside their car, she never laughed. She simply told them, "If you hear scratching on the roof, drive." Wow, that was the episode titled The Boyfriend's Death. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I got plenty more urban legends for you. As I say, probably at the end of every episode, I probably sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but anyway. If you guys have any urban legends that you'd like me to retell or reimagine, please email me, aussieafterlife@outlook.com, or contact me via Instagram, aussieafterlife. Or if you just want to have a chat and whatever, I'm always here. But yeah. Oh God, these are a fuckload of fun. I want you all to have a safe week. Goodbye.